Good morning students and welcome back to Simpson online learning classes. I hope you all are safe and secure at your places. My name is Diksha Kisarwani. I am your English teacher and today we will discuss something about the new topic, that is the tenses. Okay, so before starting with this chapter, that is the tenses, I would like to ask one question to you all. That why we are studying this tense? Why this particular topic has been added in your English grammar book? Obviously, it might be playing a very crucial role. That is why it has been added, right? Yes. So this particular topic, that is tense, it plays a really very important, or you can say it plays a very vital role whenever we are having an effective communication. It is really important for your writing skill as well as for your speaking skill. Okay. Whenever you are having any conversation and whenever you want to tell that when an action has taken place, so for that, tense is really very important. Okay. For example, if in any question or if in any exercise it has been asked that what kind of tense has been used in this particular sentence, so how you will going to tell this? How you will be telling this? For that, the tense structure, the tense definition, importance, types of tense, everything is really very important for you to understand and learn. Okay, so in this particular video, we will be learning about the topic, that is the tenses. So first we will study about the definition of tense. Okay, so the tenses. The tenses, this word has been derived from the Latin word which means what? Which means tempest. Which means tempest. Okay. This tense word has been derived from the Latin word which means tempest. And tempest means what? Tempest means time. Tempest means what? Tempest means time. So whenever we are talking about tense, so we are talking about time. We are talking about what? We are talking about time. Okay. So the definition of tense is that tense plays a crucial role in the English language. It denotes the time and action. Because it is related to verb. Tense is related to verb. It is related to verb. And verb is what? Verb is your action words. Like I am playing, I am dancing, I am singing, I went to the market. So over here, what are you trying to tell by your this sentence? You are trying to tell that when the action has taken place. That whether the action has taken place in past, present or future. Okay, that what you are trying to explain to the listener, right? That what you are trying to explain, that I went to the market. So the action has taken place in the past. I am going to the market. So at the present moment I am going to the market. Okay, so the action is taking place now. That is present. So that what your tense is. Okay, so tense is what? Tense play a crucial role in the English language and it denotes the time and action takes place. Okay, that is past, present or future. Whether sometime in the past, in the present or sometime in the future. That when the action will take place, past, present or it will take place in the future. Okay, that what you have to understand in this particular topic, that is tense. So I hope the definition of tense is clear to everyone, right? Okay, so let's move forward and now let's look at a chart which has been given over here. And over here, tense is categorized into three parts. Tense is categorized into three parts. Okay, first one is your past tense, second one is your present tense, which you can also refer to it as now. Okay, and third one is your future tense. Okay, first one is your past tense, second one is your present tense, and third one is your future tense. Okay, so this past tense, present tense and future tense is further categorized, or you can say it is further subcategorized into four parts. Okay, so we will be studying about past tense, present tense and future tense. So three tense we will be studying and each tense is subcategorized into how many parts? Four parts. So in all we have to study how many tense? We have to study in all 12 tenses we have to study. Okay, about past, present and future. This is something really basic which I am telling you. Okay, and I hope you all would be knowing this from before only, but it will be just like a revision for you. Okay, so first we will look about present tense. Okay, so what is present tense? Present tense, it tells us what is happening currently. We are talking currently, just now what is happening. The action is happening at the present moment. So present tense, it tells us what is happening currently. Okay. Now past tense tells us what? That what has already happened in the past. What has already happened in the past. Okay. And in future tense what we see, that what will happen in later future. Like for example, if I am saying that I played. Okay. I played. I will be playing. Or another example can be like I live in USA. I lived in USA. I will be living in USA. So if I am saying that I live in USA, so I am talking about present time. I am talking about present time. Okay. If I am saying that I lived in USA, I am talking about past time. If I am saying I will be living in USA, this will be your what? Future tense. This will be your future time. Okay. So I hope this definition of present tense, past tense and future tense is clear to everyone. Okay. Now we will see the subcategory of these particular tense. Okay. The first one is your present tense. In present tense, the first category is your simple present tense, which is also known as present indefinite. It is also known as present indefinite. Okay. Next one is your present continuous tense. Okay. Third one is your present perfect tense. Okay. Fourth one is your present perfect continuous tense. Okay. Present perfect continuous tense. Okay. So again I say present tense subcategorized into 4 parts. First one is your simple present tense, also known as present indefinite tense. Also known as present indefinite tense. If somebody asks you what is another name for simple present tense, you should be able to tell that it is also known as present indefinite tense. Okay. Second one is your present continuous tense. Third one is your present perfect tense, and fourth one is your present perfect continuous tense. And this thing you have to learn in the sequence. You cannot say that first one is present perfect continuous or second one is your simple present tense. You cannot say it like that. You have to learn it by sequence. Okay, simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. Okay. Next one is your past tense. Next one is your past tense. Okay. So in past tense, I have told you that what has already happened. So again, same thing. We go by sequence. Simple past, also called as past indefinite. Also called as past indefinite. Next one is your past continuous. Third one is your past perfect. And fourth one is your past perfect continuous tense. Okay. Now we talk about future tense. Okay. So for future tense, first one is again your simple future tense. Second one, future continuous. Third one, future perfect. into your head. Okay. First one is your present tense. It tells us what is happening currently. Means we are talking about the action which is happening just now at the present moment. And it is categorized into 4 parts. Simple present tense, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Next one is your past tense. Okay. What has already happened in the past. Okay. Again subcategorized into 4 parts. First one is your simple past tense, past indefinite tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense and past perfect continuous tense. Okay. Third one, future tense, what will happen in the future. Simple future tense, also known as future indefinite, future continuous tense, future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Means this I think you all would be knowing from beforehand only. But the new thing I guess which you have learned is that tense has been derived from a Latin word which means tempus, and tempus means what? Time. At what time the action has taken place. Okay. I hope this much is clear to everyone. Now we will look at the tense one by one. The first tense which we will study today is your simple present tense, which is also called as present indefinite tense. Okay. Okay students, so we have talked about what? We have talked about definition of tenses and we have seen the categories of tense that it has been divided into 3 parts. First one is your present tense, second one is your past tense and third one is your future tense. Okay, so now we will study about the first tense, that is simple present tense in the category of present tense. Okay. So before starting with simple present tense, I would like to tell you the usage of the simple present tense. Okay. So the usage of the simple present tense is really very easy. Why it is very easy? Because it is used at 2 places. You just have to remember the usage at 2 places. First one is when you are talking about any habitual actions or any routine work. Okay. So whenever you are talking about any habitual action or any routine work, so you have to use which tense? You have to use simple present tense. Okay. And the second usage of the simple present tense is that whenever you are talking about any facts or universal truth. Any facts and universal truth over here means what? Any facts and universal truth over here means that which cannot be denied, which cannot be changed. Okay. Which cannot be denied, which cannot be changed. Okay. So the usage of simple present tense is at 2 places. First one, when we are talking about habits and routine work. Okay. And second one is whenever we are talking about what? Whenever we are talking about any facts or any universal truth. So there we have to use which tense? There we have to use simple present tense. Okay. Now we have learned about the usage of simple present tense. We will be looking at the examples also. But before that we have to learn the structure, or you can say the form of this simple present tense. The structure and the form of the simple present tense over here means what? That if any sentence has been given to you, so how you will identify that which tense has been used in that particular sentence. So for that particular thing, for that to identify that particular sentence, you need to understand the structure of different kinds of sentences, this tense, right? You need to identify the 12 different kinds of tenses. You have to learn the structure of these 12 kinds of tenses. Otherwise, you won't be able to understand that which type of tense has been used in this particular sentence, right? So this thing, that is the structure, is very important. The structure is really very important and you have to learn it by heart. Okay. So when I have taught you these sentences, so I have told you over there that sentences are categorized into many parts, right? According to structure and according to function, the sentence is categorized into many parts, okay? And according to this function, the sentence has been categorized into 4 parts. First one was your declarative sentence, which is also called as affirmative sentence. Second one was your what? Second one was your interrogative sentence, right? Third one was your imperative sentence and fourth one was your exclamatory sentence. And in declarative sentence, we have talked about both affirmative sentence as well as negative sentence. See, so whenever you are framing any sentence, now you can see now that why this tense is important, because whenever you have to frame any sentence, so for that tense is important. You should be knowing the structures of those particular tenses, right? So we will study one by one the structure of affirmative sentence, which is also called as positive sentence. Second one is your negative sentence and third one that whenever you are framing any interrogative sentence, so at that particular time what you have to do is you just have to interchange the subject and the verb position. You have to just interchange the subject and the verb position. Okay, that means the auxiliary verb will come in the place of subject and the subject will go in the place of your auxiliary verb. You just have to interchange the subject and verb position. Okay, so over here I have used does and I have used do, and obviously not I will be using why, because this is a negative sentence. So negative sentence, obviously you have to use what? You have to use not. Okay, so but why I have used does and do? So does and do over here refers to auxiliary verb or helping verb. Auxiliary verb or helping verb. And whenever we are talking about simple present tense, so in simple present tense the auxiliary verb which is used is does and do. The auxiliary verb which is used in simple present tense is does and do. Okay, now where will be using does and where will be using do? Now does is used when your subject is singular. When your subject is singular. When your subject is singular, so you will be using does. Okay, like he, she, it. Okay, something like that. Do will be used when your subject is plural. Okay, this is clear. When your subject is singular, you have to use which auxiliary verb? Does. If your subject is plural, you have to use which auxiliary verb? Do. See, I am teaching you means very basic things which you already know. But still, these things play a very vital role when you are framing any sentences, because children generally they get confused that where they have to use does, where they have to do, and why they are using does and do, why not did, or why not some other auxiliary verb has or have. Because in simple present tense we have to use only does and do. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now come to the interrogative part. Now in interrogative part I have told you that the auxiliary verb will come in at the beginning of the sentence. So what will happen? First we have to write does or do. Then we have to write the subject. Then we have to write what? Then we have to write the first form of the sentence, the first form of the verb, and then we have to write the object. Okay. Simple. Very easy. Does, do plus subject plus verb first form plus object. I hope the structure of this simple present tense is clear to everyone. The structure of simple present tense is clear to everyone. Okay. Now come to this one. Uses of simple present tense I have already told you. We will just look at the example. Before this, let's move to this particular table. Okay. Now I have told you that where you have to use S and where you have to use ES. Now children generally they often get confused that now where we have to use S with the verb and where we have to use ES with the verb. Okay. So for that particular topic I would like to tell you that I have made this table with you, that we in pronouns we have studied about three persons. First person, second person and third person. Okay. That what I have written in this particular table. Okay. In the first table I have written about I, you, we and they. Okay. In the second table I have written about he, she and it. Okay. So whenever my subject will be plural, so I will be using what? I will be using the main verb. I will be using the first form of the verb, that is without S. Without S or without ES. That means with these many, you can say number of persons, we don't use S or ES. We don't use S or ES. Okay, so it will be I work, I live, I play, I go, you drink, we sing, you play, something like that. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, and whenever we are talking about the singular subject, these were the plural subject, and now whenever we talk about the singular subject, that is he, she and it. So with that particular subject we have to use S and ES. With that we have to use S and ES. Okay, like over here will be he works in London or somewhere else. Okay, or it can be she lives in New Delhi, he plays guitar, verb, that is verb first form. Okay, I hope this table is clear to everyone. I have told you means like minute things which generally students make mistakes, or when they commit mistake, whenever they are just having a conversation with anyone, whenever they are saying any sentences, whenever they are writing any sentence. So for that I have told you each and everything, and I hope it is clear to everyone that with affirmative sentence we use subject plus verb first form plus s or es, and s or es is used when my subject will be plural. We don't have to use any s or es. When my subject is singular, we have to use s and es, and then object. Okay, then comes your negative sentence. We have to use subject plus does not, do not plus verb first form plus object. Does not when your subject is singular, do not when your subject is plural. Again, interrogative sentence, does or do means the auxiliary verb will come at the first, or you can say at the beginning of the sentence, then subject, then again verb first form, then object. Okay. Now we will study about the usage of simple present tense. Now the usage of the simple present tense is really very interesting. I have already told you that it is used at only two places. First is whenever you are talking about any habitual action or routine work, and second thing is whenever you are talking about facts or universal truth which cannot be denied. Okay, so for example, first thing I have written that whenever you are talking about any habits and routine works. So for that example is like I drink coffee every morning. I drink coffee every morning. So over here I have used which verb? I have used the verb that is drink. Why not drinks? Why not drinks? I could have used drinks also. I drinks coffee, but that would be a wrong sentence. Why it would be a wrong sentence? Because before this only I have told you that with I you don't have to use what? You don't have to use s or es. Okay. So that what you have to understand. Understood? Okay. Next one is Sean goes to the beach on Sundays. Sean goes to the beach on Sundays. So over here, Sean. Sean is my singular subject or plural subject? Singular subject or plural subject? This is your singular subject. So with singular subject, you have to use singular verb that is goes. You have to add es over there. Okay. And children often play video games. Children often play video games after school. So children often play. So children over here is my plural subject. Yeah, right. This is your plural subject. So you are using which verb? You are using plural verb that is without s or es. Okay. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, let's talk about this particular sentences, habits and routine. I drink coffee every morning. I drink coffee every morning. I drink tea every morning. This is my habitual action. This is my routine verb, right? So, we are using which tense? We are using simple present tense over here. Sean goes to the beach on Sundays. So, on Sundays means he goes to the beach. It is his routine verb. It is his habitual verb. So again we have to use which tense? Simple present tense over here. Children often play video games after school. This example you can relate with your real life. Right? Like as soon as the bell rings, you are in a very means like you want to just go to your home and just you want to play games, video games, you just want to use smartphones and all, right? This happens with you or not? Obviously this happens. So this is your routine work. This is your routine work. That children often play video games after school. Okay, this is your habitual action. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Now we will talk about what? Now we will talk about the second usage of simple present tense, that is your habits and what? Universal truth. Okay. Okay students, so we have talked about what? Habitual action and routine works, and now we will see the second usage of simple present tense, that is facts and universal truth. Okay, so whenever we are talking about any facts and universal truth, so over there the examples are water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So obviously this is universal truth. This is a fact that water really boils at 100 degrees Celsius. You cannot boil it at 0 degrees Celsius. Nah, it will freeze, right? So you cannot change this. Can you change this? No, you cannot change this. This is a fact. This is a universal truth, right? So this universal truth that water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, this is your simple present tense. Okay. Next is Kathy plays guitar. Kathy plays guitar. So again, Kathy plays guitar. This is a fact. Okay. Or if I am saying Kathy plays guitar Obviously this is a fact. Okay. Third example is the sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. Kathy plays guitar. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. The sun rises in the east. Obviously the sun rises in the east. Does it rise from west? No, it doesn't, right? You cannot change it because this is your universal truth. This is a fact. Another example can be like the earth revolves around the sun. Another example can be like kangaroo carry their babies in their pouch. Okay, kangaroo carry their babies in their pouches. This can also be an example of your universal truth. Okay, so this was about your simple present tense, and I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, now one more thing is left little bit, that I'll tell you that where we use simple present tense means with what expressions, with what time of expressions we use this simple present tense. That is only left in the simple present tense. Then after this your simple present tense will be complete. Okay students, so this is, as I told you, that we also use the simple present tense with time expressions like in the morning, in the evening, in September, and etc., or in December, or something like that. Okay, so these are what? These are the terms, the time expression where we use the simple present tense. For example, like on Friday mornings, on weekends, something like that. Like in this particular example, I like to have a cup of tea while sitting in the morning. So in the morning, with this expression, we are using simple present tense. Okay. Next one is that with adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency, you already know that it is occurring at a frequent interval. Okay. Such as always, usually, never, sometimes. So with such expressions, with such words, okay, we use what? We use simple present tense. Like I am always up at 6 in the morning. I am always up at 6 in the morning. Or another example can be, I sometimes go up to the terrace at night to stare at the stars. Okay. So this was about your simple present tense, and I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. In the next video, we will learn about the second subcategory of the present tense, that is present continuous tense. Okay. For now, you just have to go through the video, and in case if you are having any problem, then you can ask me in the comment section. Okay. Thank you so much and have a nice day. All the best.